I don't know, maybe it's just me. When I eventually got out of the house this morning, just about to head for work, I saw a glistening on the top of the roof of my car. And for a second, I thought, is that a frost? Is there a frost on my car in Auckland? And then I just realised that no, that's just me being a wimp. Really, wasn't that cold last night. But hey, to verify my wimpiness, joining us on the program from weatherwatch.co.nz, Phil Duncan. Kia ora.
Kia ora, hello.
There wasn't a frost in Auckland last night, was there?
There was not. There were frosts in the Lower South Island.
Okay.
They got down. And they'll have more tonight as well. But yeah, most places are frost free at the moment because of the windier, cloudier, wetter weather. Depending on where you are, you've got one of those three,
Yep.
or maybe all of the three if you're in Auckland.
Exactly. It was a trick of the light, and it certainly was colder outside when I did step out my door than it was in my bedroom where I had the heater running all night. Honestly, but yeah.
There's a big high pressure zone just east of the South Island, so it's
Yep.
down near Dunedin, and it's driving in this easterly, or some parts it's a northeasterly, and it's much colder than you think because it's not a tropical easterly. It's not coming from Fiji.
Yep.
It's coming from the Southern Ocean, and so it comes all the way up past the Chatham Islands and then curves back in as this colder wind. And so the top of New Zealand getting that colder airflow today, but it's been down around Canterbury and Hawke's Bay and Wellington for the past few days. So it's sort of a gradual creep northwards, but the wind and the cloud means that the top of the country, or at least most of the North Island, is frost free.
Yeah. Hey, big L plate over New Zealand has been since last time we were chatting, in fact. And your prediction was that this might stick around for a while, and it certainly has been. Sort of the L locked over New Zealand and the high keeping it in place. How's that looking as we head towards the weekend?
Yeah, so a week ago we talked about this, and I said it will be with us this time next week when we're talking,
Yep.
and potentially even for beyond that. So here we are this weekend, or as we come into this weekend, this low that's been stuck in the Tasman finally starts to move into the country, and that's
Okay.
what we basically get coming in Sunday night. The map behind me showing Sunday and going into Monday. This is Monday. Low pressure splits apart, and we end up with these big downpours coming in across the country. So for those who remember, last Friday we had the same low coming in. So this Monday, same thing happens again, but this one might be a little bit windier to begin with around the weekend, especially Sunday and then Monday morning. And then as we go into next week, we expect by about Wednesday, finally this system has gone and a high pressure zone is coming in behind it. Just a brief one, but we do settle things down a wee bit later next week.
So looks like rain and cloud cover in the North Island, clearer, cooler, frostier in the south. Is that about right?
Pretty much, yeah. The frosty weather is around for the next couple of nights in the South Island. Everywhere this weekend is affected by the low. I mean, it might not be raining, but it will be cloudier or slightly windier as it comes on in. North to northeasterly winds will dominate. And then as we get through until Monday of next week, once the low passes by, in comes a westerly change. And so that changes things a wee bit across the country. And behind that is high pressure. I don't want to get too much further beyond that because it might be a bit bleak and depressing, but let's just say there's plenty of variety in the weather at the moment. So you might have a warm day one day and it might not be the same a couple of days later.
Look, I know it's pretty volatile, and I'm going to stretch your forecasting abilities on this one, because something that would be really nice, honestly, is for at least a couple of hours of clear sky at night for Matariki weekend. You know, it is a new tradition for a lot of us. We're still getting used to what that means. I mean, impossible to know whether there's going to be a cloud over my house more than a week from now. But is it looking good with this low moving through? Is there at least a higher than average possibility that we'll get a clear sky at night for Matariki weekend, or am I pushing the luck, Phil?
I wouldn't say a higher than usual chance, but I would say a better chance than what we've had.
Okay.
this low that we've got at the moment just is producing so much cloud around the country. We've actually been trapped between the low and the high in the squash zone for the last couple of days. We call it the squash zone because it's sort of one line of wind that goes right down across the whole country, and that's a northeasterly at the moment. So next week, if we do get this high coming in, say Wednesday, Thursday time, the problem with it is as it starts to move past, that's when we get a cloudier northerly.
Okay.
But there's a fine line between those two. So I would say compared to this week, probably a better chance. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of questions about next Friday. The good news is it is next Friday, isn't it?
Yeah, it is next Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday week. Yep.
Our new app, our Weather Watch app, has got a section called Trends.
Okay.
And under the Trends area, we've got a cloud forecaster and a fog forecaster in one.
Mhm.
So I actually built it for stargazing. Literally, that was the reason we built it.
Yeah.
People would say, "Oh, there's a chance of an aurora or whatever," and so we were like, "Well, if we put this in there, that'll help." So you can use that next week. I mean, you could probably start to use it already today
Yep.
to get a bit of a feeling as to what it might be looking like this time next week or Friday next week.
Hey, certainly well, good to highlight that actually, because I chat with you once a week, but people can always get the latest information at weatherwatch.co.nz. If they've got the app, that can give them some more specific information. They can have the forecast in their pocket, maybe very useful for Matariki weekend. Now, the app that is available, is that clickable through the Weather Watch website? What's the best way to get that, Phil?
It is, but you're probably just easiest to go straight to the Google Play Store, wherever
Yep.
you normally download your app. If it's from an iPhone or for an Android, just go to your usual app store and just search Weather Watch. Will pop up pretty quickly. The app is larger than NIWA and Met Service combined,
Mhm.
and it's free. And if you want to get the paid version of it, $6.99 to set up alerts. And we've found that gardeners and growers are loving this app. In fact, we thought that farmers would take up on it a lot more, but we've had a lot of growers and farmers and gardeners say, "Gosh, just having that frost alert the night before lets me go out and put a blanket over the plant that cost me $100 or something." And so $6.99 is worth it to protect my plants.
Especially for people further south, not like soft Aucklanders such as myself that think there's a frost and there wasn't one at all. But the app available free of charge, or if you want to have the extra features, including the frost alert, cup of Auckland coffee, at least, is what it will take. Weatherwatch.co.nz. Philip, thank you very much for joining us once again.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your weekend.
Hey, thanks very much for joining us in the REMA studio. Thanks very much for watching the interview. It's kind of nice to have an audience, actually. And if you did like what you watched, then do give us a like, do give us the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more interviews like that one, or perhaps even better, subscribe and those interviews will come straight to you. Don't forget to turn on your notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.